I turned the volume up as if somebody's going to be responding to me. Okay, so this is the first time I'm going live from my laptop. I have it set on top of something. I hope it's not going to shake too much as I move. I'm sitting in my bed for more comfort. I need a drink. Okay, so last night's stream, that sounds so weird. I feel like I sound like someone who just like does this all the time, like I know what I'm doing. But last night I titled mine with the word like reading in it, and then I ended up just not talking about books at all. So today we're actually going to do that. Once some people get on, I'm going live at a much more decent time, but it's taking longer for people to get on now, so I'm just going to wait a minute. I'm wearing the same hoodie that I wore last night too, because I spilled Indian food on my shirt. Go figure. Now I have to pre-treat it. That's exciting. I just got back from a vegan night at this Indian place that I like to go to. Okay. I literally have only gone live. I think this is the 4th time. What do these buttons do? I couldn't even figure out if I was live at first, if I'm being honest. Edit. Oh, okay, that's just the title. Okay. YouTube better be sending my notification out. Literally no one's on right now. People were watching it back though, so I feel like maybe should I just like get started and you guys can go back. I'm probably gonna do that after I take another drink. God, this is wobbling so much. I didn't want to use it on my phone though. I didn't want to live stream on my phone because then I can't like use it. Okay, let's talk about some books. This is the one I'm currently reading. I just put it on my Instagram story. Oh my god, the glare. I'm not even using a light. It's called The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. I'm only 2 chapters in. It's really weird and like a little bit abstract, I guess. The description is literally the one who's supposed to fight the zombies or the soul-eating ghosts or whatever the heck this new thing is with the blue lights and the death. Huh? What if you're like Mikey, who just wants to graduate and go to prom and maybe finally work up the courage to ask Hannah out before someone goes and blows up the high school again? Because sometimes there are problems bigger than this week's end of the world, and sometimes you just have to find the extraordinary in your ordinary life, even if your best friend is worshipped by mountain lions. I don't understand. I'm a little bit lost. I'm only 2 chapters in, so I'm gonna like keep going with it. But I was in a reading slump for a while and then ended up really liking The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Rachel Lynn Solomon. And what was the other one? It's slipping my mind now. The Rest of Us Just Live Here. I already don't even remember what it was called. Okay, so the next one I'm going to read after I'm done with that one is 5 Feet Apart. I'm wondering if any of you guys have opinions on it. If you do, let me know in the comments or in the live if you're watching this live. This is basically about 2 teens with cystic fibrosis, I'm pretty sure. There's a movie, and it has Cole Sprouse in it, I think. I'm going to watch the movie pretty much right when I'm done with the book. I know I'm going to like this. I really feel like I am. I feel like this might have The Fault in Our Stars vibes, which is going to break my heart, but you know, I really did enjoy that book. So the reason it's called 5 Feet Apart is because, sorry, I can't say that title and not think about that vine of like 2 dudes chilling in a hot tub 6 feet apart because they're not gay. What was I saying? 5 feet apart. Oh, the reason it's called 5 Feet Apart is because they have to remain 5 feet apart from each other. This was written before the pandemic, but it sounds very familiar to a lot of us. It was written in 2018. Man, very close. Very close. Okay. These are all from the library, by the way, because I'm cheap. I don't buy every single book that I read. That's why a lot of the times when I do videos, I have just like a picture of one up. Okay, this one is called When Panic Attacks, but you can't see the title because this is from the Mobius library thing, so it's from like out of state. but this is like a self-help book. I had a little breakdown back in September, and I ordered like, I don't know, maybe like 10 self-help books online through the library. Not my best moment. I mean, it was good. I like realized I was going through some things. I probably needed healthier coping mechanisms. So, and since then, I've also, all of these books that are on my TBR have been recommended to me through the app Likewise. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's kind of like Goodreads, but it's a little bit more community oriented when it comes to recommending books. So I put out a question and I said, does anybody have any books with characters who are dealing with OCD? And people just submitted all of their favorites. And there's been a lot of good ones that they've sent me. Like, what was it called? We Can't Keep Meeting Like This. That book I really liked was one of them that they suggested. So I highly recommend you guys download that. It's free. They might have a website, but I've been just using mobile. My cat just woke up really suddenly. Are you okay? You want to say hi? You look really tired. Princess, come on. Say hi. Big yawn. Yes. Show me those teeth. You're going to go back to it. She's like slow blinking at me. Here. Princess. She looks so irritated. This is what I was concerned about. All right, so we have that one. Hang on. I need to keep these in order because that was cute. Hang on. Okay. Maybe this is not the best setup. Okay, next we have more fiction stuff. As I said, that's my last of the nonfiction self-help that I ordered in a panic. Okay, all the things that could go wrong. This is another Mobius one, so you can't completely see the title. What is this about? So it does have a character who has OCD, as I said before. I ordered a bunch of those books. So we have two characters, Dan and Alex. Dan is angry. Nothing has been the same since his big brother left, and he's taking it out on the nearest and weakest target, Alex. Alex is struggling. His OCD makes it hard for him to leave the house, especially when Dan and his gang are waiting for him at school. When Dan and Alex are suddenly forced to work together over the holidays to finish building the raft that Dan started with his brother, pure disaster seems like the only possible result. But what if Alex is more than his worries and Dan is more than just an angry bully? What if they have more in common than either could have imagined? There are two sides to every story, and when two completely different boys are forced to put aside their differences, they might discover what it is that connects us all. So yeah, I hadn't heard of this one until someone suggested it to me on Likewise, but God, talking makes me so thirsty. I have only 2 more books left. Someone just commented something. Is that a link? I have only 2 more books left, and then I'm going to talk about the other part of my title, which is the video that's getting recommended right now that is making me kind of anxious. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so next is Under Rose-Tainted Skies by Louise Gournall. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Yeah, okay. God, I have a receipt in there. Okay, so this one says, at 17, Nora has accepted that the 4 walls of her house delineate her life. She knows that fearing everything from inland seas to odd numbers is irrational, but her mind insists the world outside is too big, too dangerous, so she stays safe inside watching others' lives through her windows and social media feed. But when Luke arrives on her doorstep, he doesn't see a girl defined by medical terms and mental health. Instead, he sees a girl who's funny, smart, and brave, and Noah likes what he sees. Their friendship turns deeper. Nora knows Luke deserves a normal girl, one who can walk beneath the open sky, one who is unafraid of kissing, one who isn't so screwed up. Can she let him go for his own good, or can Nora learn to see herself through Luke's eyes? This reminds me a little bit of Every Last Word, just based on the description. But Every Last Word was kind of, I don't know, people either really hate it or they really love it. And I know with books that talk about mental health, I mean, as an author, you're really opening yourself up for critiques on how well you handled that topic because it is sensitive and people want to see good representation. They want to see stuff that's going to really comfort them. So I think it's a little bit more difficult than just regular fiction. But with Every Last Word, I mean, there were things I liked, things I didn't like. It was all right. I think it was more the writing style more than like the way they handled the character who was dealing with her mental health issues. Like, it just didn't hook me, you know? But I feel very strongly, you're going to laugh because I literally rated this one 3 stars also, but I feel very strongly about OCD Love Story. That's another book I read. It has the most hideous cover. I've posted about it on my Instagram stories before because I was like, who the hell has read this book other than me? Because, like, we need to discuss. There were things I absolutely loved about it and things I completely hated. Like, it was a weird experience. And those things ended up, like, balancing each other out to where I just rated it 3 stars because, like, I don't know. I still don't know how to feel about it. Do I hate it or do I love it? I think I genuinely just kind of fall somewhere in the middle. Okay, and the last one that I have, I'm going to read all of these in December. This is only 6 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not including the one I'm currently reading. I keep them like right next to my head where I sleep. Okay, so this one is called The Unfinished Garden. Why did I order this one again? I read another book by this author last month called The Perfect Son. It was a lot of like family dynamic involving things. I did kind of like the writing, but it was like, okay, why did I order this one if I thought it was okay? Okay, so this character also does have OCD, but no one suggested this to me. No one like recommended this one to me. James Neely is haunted by irrational fears and inescapable compulsions. A successful software developer, he's thrown himself into a new goal, finally conquer the noise in his mind, and he has a plan. He'll confront his darkest fears and build something beautiful, a garden. When he meets Tilly Silverberg, what a name, he knows she holds the key, even if she doesn't think so. After her husband's death, gardening became Tilly's livelihood and her salvation. Her thriving North Carolina business and her young son, Isaac, are the excuses she needs to hide from the world. So when oddly attractive, incredibly tenacious James demands that she take him on as a client, her answer is a flat no. When a family emergency lures Tilly back to England, she's secretly glad. With Isaac in tow, she retreats to her childhood village, which has always stayed obligingly the same. Until now, her best friend is keeping secrets. Her mother is plotting. Her first love is unexpectedly temptingly available, and then James appears on her doorstep. Away from home, James and Tilly forge an unlikely bond, tenuous at first but taking root every day, and as they work to build a garden together, something begins to blossom between them, despite all the reasons against it. So kind of love story, but I'm hoping there's some like depth to it too. You know, that's everything I'm reading. I'd love to hear what you guys are planning on reading this month. I know December can be a little chaotic for people who are huge readers because, Goodreads Goals are coming up. I actually met mine again for only like the second time. I always set it at 50. Usually I get around like somewhere between 42 and 45, but this year I'm now at 66. So I should make it to 70. One year I made it 74 back in like 2018. For some reason, I didn't meet it during the like pandemic year, like in 2020. I think it was because I was going so hard with YouTube. And last year I was doing Vlogmas, so that didn't leave any room for anything. I literally didn't read that entire month. It was kind of sad, honestly, which is why I'm doing live stuff now this month. It's a lot more manageable. Okay, so now I guess we can talk about the freaking video that's being recommended that I dropped in the title there. So I did have Does Betty Take James Back blow up, so I'm used to like, well, not used to, it was like one experience where a video got like over 50,000 views. But I had a really, really good experience with that video blowing up. That was what made me get monetized, all of that. And now the video that's blowing up is the 13 Unpopular Taylor Swift Opinions, I think it's called. It's the one where I'm talking about my own and I'm not reading off your guys's. Your guys's. What am I, a northerner? But the reason I'm like nervous is because that's a video that has opinions, I guess. I don't know, people get sometimes kind of defensive about things for sure. And with the video Does Betty Take James Back that blew up, that was pretty much purely about my interpretation of something. And I feel like, I don't know, people are more open to that kind of thing when you're interpreting art, you know what I mean? As opposed to like, basically what I'm super nervous about is in that video, I said like, I thought her country accent was like something that she did so that she could be a successful country singer. And that's not, I don't know if I made it clear enough that that's not me passing judgment on that. That's literally just me saying like, I thought it was smart. Honestly, actors change their accent all the time to like fit different roles. And I feel like people, even if you're using your real name on stage, you kind of have a bit of a persona for on stage performing. And her using a country accent, like I literally wrote a country song a couple weeks ago to submit as an assignment. And when I recorded it, I was putting on a little bit of an accent. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, I'm a little bit nervous my words might get misconstrued. You never know which video is going to freaking blow up. I mean, I always think the ones about Taylor are going to do better, but like, what's the next one that's going to be like 50,000 plus views? You know what I mean? Like, I just never can tell. So yeah, that one's just getting freaking pushed by YouTube. In my analytics, I can see where the views are coming from. And at first it was like kind of coming through search, like people were looking for unpopular Taylor Swift opinions. And now YouTube is putting that video on people's home pages. So I don't know. I mean, they're putting it in front of the target audience, I'm sure. I haven't got any like weird comments or anything. There was one man on there who was acting a little bit strange, but I mean, you're going to get, I've had some weird comments. I've yet to get a hate comment. I know it'll eventually come. That's just how things are as your channel grows. I feel like I have a pretty thick skin, but like, I became a fan in 2019, so looking back at her interviews, you can definitely tell. Yeah, I think people like, you know, you can shed your accent, but it's like she grew up in Pennsylvania, so it's like, do people talk like that in Pennsylvania? I know everywhere you are, whatever state you're in, even if it's a northern state, there will be some like hick-like people in the middle of nowhere. I mean, she was not like a hick person though. Like, I mean, I don't think, is it pronounced Reading or Reading where she's from? I never remember. But I mean, she grew up on a Christmas tree farm that was like pretty upper middle class. She wasn't in the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't, unless when she went to Nashville, it might have really rubbed off. I was thinking about this earlier today too, because I was listening to some Glass Animals interviews because I just did that video on them. And the main guy, Dave Bailey, he's from Texas, but he moved to the UK when he was 13, and he has a British accent. Like, I never would have guessed he was even from the US, but it turns out he is. I mean, when you're in the public school system, I guess it really rubs off on you. Does everyone find it easier to get over a singing accent over a talking one? You mean to, like, not have an accent while you're singing versus when you're talking? I know in choir, we were told to pretty much sing as if we were British, because American accents are kind of ugly. No tea, no shade at us. But yeah, honestly, I really don't mean it in a shady way at all when I say I think when she was in country, she was putting on an accent, because like, I've done that. So especially living in Oklahoma, anywhere I perform, like, anyone who's watching is probably a country music fan. Why would I not try to fit in a little bit, I guess? I mean, I think people can kind of chameleon a little bit. I do like some aspects of country music. I mean, I became a fan of Taylor when she was in country, so I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something else. People who are trained classically, because I just finished music school, people who are like very used to singing in choir and used to singing like the proper way, I guess, you have to know how to switch your singing accent whenever you're doing contemporary music. It's just, you can't literally make all your vowels very tall and long for every contemporary song you do, or like musical theater. I almost feel like I have a different accent kind of when I'm singing that versus actual classical or like contemporary or country or whatever. With singing, it's more difficult to tell anyway, since your words are going by faster. That's true. With some like British people especially, I don't realize they're British at all until I like hear them speaking. I think it might have been that way for Glass Animals, but to be fair, that singer did grow up in the US. He just like moved to England and kind of picked up an accent later, but only in his speech, I'm pretty sure. was going to say something else. My brain is always going in a million different directions on lives. I might have been talking about my analytics and that video getting pushed out. I'm kind of, I mean, I never freaking know why stuff takes off so much later after I've published them. Like, Does Betty Take James Back freaking flopped for like a month. I was so excited about that video. I was sitting at like less than 200 subscribers for sure. And I was like, oh my God, this video is going to do so well. I just had all these people watching my folklore reaction. And yeah, my folklore reaction hit like a little over 1,000 views, but you know, that's not a whole lot when you're just starting off with a channel. Like, it's good, but it's like not viral by any means. And I was just so freaking disappointed. I put so much work into that video. And then starting in like October of 2020, suddenly it just uptick. Like, I still to this day, I mean, nobody understands the freaking algorithm. It could be a mix of click-through rate, how long people are watching the video. It's just random. And it's like, I can't imagine. Well, I guess it's more consistent when you have a larger platform. You're like maybe a little bit more like not cautious, taking a little more time to think about the way you're saying things. But I literally just uploaded that unpopular opinion video just very casually. I had like a rough script, so I wouldn't get sidetracked. But yeah, now I'm like, maybe I should have phrased that gentler. I don't want people to think I'm coming for her. I've always been a little bit nervous about that video. I mean, I was so nervous filming it. Yeah, I reckon the love triangle video is definitely your most creative, unique. Maybe that helps it blow up. I think the format was really good. Having that white board thing that literally wasn't a whiteboard. People think it is all the time. But I had my mom safety pin a poster board to my curtains. And I got a Sharpie. And then I cut out this part, obviously. But I like turned it around when I filled up one side. Because I had the little map for the thumbnail that was like the triangle and like the three people. And then to use the other side, I just flipped it around. God. I mean, I wasn't nervous about that video at all because, I mean, nothing was really controversial that I said or like could be misconstrued. Thank God. I feel like I've been really lucky in that regard because sometimes stuff blows up for people that they never think it does. And it just gets like completely twisted or like weird. I feel like that happens a lot on TikTok now. Oh my God. Do you guys know about Couch Guy? Oh my God. I watched Smokey Glow's video on that because she had a lot of interesting commentary on people who like post stuff online and then it goes viral and it's not their intention and it can like really lead to a lot of hate. That's like nerve-wracking, but it's also I'm someone who's like not like trying to go viral. Like I enjoy what I do no matter how many views it gets, but like I'm making money off of YouTube. I post a video every week in the hopes that it does get a good amount of views. So it's like I'm almost like the kind of person who's asking for it, I guess. But I mean, no one deserves hate, you know? I don't think I've ever left a freaking hate comment. Like, that's so... Have I ever even disliked a video? If it's music and I don't want to listen to it on my YouTube Music app, but if I'm not interested in a video, I just click off. This is probably disgusting. I have a piece of dandruff. I need to get it out of my hair. This is the beauty of lives, you guys. Okay, throwing that in the trash. My throat gets so dry talking for so long. I'm kind of shocked that less people are on this live than last night, because last night it was at 2 a.m. But I think I had some people who were just not in the U.S. who showed up. I'm going to be doing this every night. I mean, I've said that already, but yeah, livemas is what I'm calling it. I don't know if people have done that before, but just Vlogmas freaking killed me. I talked about this earlier, but man, maybe I would consider doing it again if, first of all, once I like have my own place, because I'm at my parents' house still, but also I would need to be doing YouTube completely full time, and I don't know, if I'd ever get to that point, but it was a lot of fun, but it's a full-time freaking job. And people do Vlogmas as YouTubers because December is the most profitable month. It's just when advertisers pay the most amount of money. So your profits are always going to be the most in December. So you kind of want to like milk that and do as many videos as you can. I'm on US Central Time, so it's 8. I'm also on US Central Time. It's 8 p.m. here now, too. I was here at 2 a.m. last night. I thought it was going to be a pretty dumb decision, but like there were a lot of people like chatting and stuff. I got a lot of messages in it. Now we're 25 minutes in and it's only like 7 messages showing up. I also have wanted to do like, I don't know if you guys watch Lauren Lippman's lives, but she does these little like trivia games and stuff like that, and I need to figure out how to set that up because I feel like that'd be a lot of fun. I wanted to ask you guys how things are going with the pandemic, where you are. We're in a weird place. I almost kind of got to the point of like not thinking about it. I live in the South, so it's easy to get too comfortable. I mean, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, this is fake. My mom works in medical. Like, I know it's not fake. Like, there's literally people there that she sees, and it's a spooky time. But it kind of hit me 2 nights ago that this is still fucking happening. I just got my booster shot yesterday. I haven't had any side effects. Side effects. I haven't had any side effects so far. It hurts though. I couldn't like sleep on this side. It's weird, but I'm just glad it's not itchy. I had to take a Benadryl last time for my second dose. Oh my god, because it was just itching and so swollen. But I got Moderna last time I got Pfizer, and nothing's happening now. But it is a half dose for the booster, so maybe that might have something to do with it. But yeah, it's hard not to feel hopeless with all these variants showing up. I mean, how do I phrase this? I am pro-vaccine. I feel like people should be getting it. I mean, I'm not going to be like awful to somebody just because they're not. It's, I just want people to like educate themselves and research things, I guess. But I feel like a lot of the problem that's going on is a lot of countries don't have freaking access to these, and that's what's causing a lot of variants. They all start outside of the US. We have access to them. A lot of first world countries do, but I think we're kind of hoarding them from smaller countries. Like in Ukraine, when I went, only like 0.8% of the population had gotten vaccinated. So many people wanted to, but there was just no access yet. But we had like completely unrestricted access to vaccines. So I think that's kind of sad. And it screws all of us. Like populations should be able to if they're wanting to. It's freaking rough. I went to my college for a meeting since we didn't get to do a music industry association meeting for the last few semesters of graduates due to COVID. So a few other alumni came, and those buildings are still requiring masks on campus. It's definitely a lot different from my hometown in Oklahoma. I don't think there's a single business that requires masks. I mean, I've gotten, I think, too comfortable just because I'm vaccinated. It's like most of the people around me really aren't. So part of the reason I didn't go live last night until so late was because I got news that a friend I had from high school passed from COVID. And that's when it really hit me like a ton of bricks again that like this is not over. This is actually the second person from my school who's passed. The first one passed in March of 2020, so there's not much to be done there. But the first person who passed in March of 2020, he was in like newspaper articles, and like people were really talking about it, and they were like, oh my god, this young person, like it happened to him. I live in Houston, so masks are a pretty mixed bag. Yeah, I feel like there are some places in like Tulsa, or like OKC, if you're familiar with Oklahoma at all, where it is like more common to wear them. But when you're kind of out a little farther, maybe there's less risk because the population isn't as dense, but I don't know. it's still, you get too freaking comfortable, even if you're someone who like believes in it and wants it to be over and like gets your vaccines and everything. It's like, how long is this gonna freaking go on, man? When are these variants gonna be over? But as I was saying, the first guy who passed from my school, March of 2020, that's why I really took it seriously from the beginning, because everyone was saying online, like, oh, you'll be fine if you're healthy and young. And then I see this person who I like saw at school every day. They're no longer around from it. And that's when I was like, this seems not quite what is being publicized. God, March 2020 was a weird freaking time. My apartment was flooding. We were under quarantine. That was an experience. Oh, my elbow needs to pop. But now, my other friend, I don't know if he was vaccinated or not, but it almost feels like he's just going to be like another number. Like the way the South is viewing this, this is just going to be normalized now. Like we're just going to pass from COVID. And I don't know, he's not going to have articles of like, oh my God, this 24-year-old guy, he passed and it's so weird, or whatever they were saying about the first one. It made me sad. It really did, especially when people are saying like, oh, this has such a higher survival rate than the flu. I know people can die from the flu. Like, I know that's happened, but I don't know anyone my age who has, and it just feels a little too real when people are dying from this when they are my age. It's like, I don't know. Well, all my friends had their own little outbreak back in like August of 2020, I think. I was not part of it because they were scaring me. Their behavior was freaking me out. I was like, I live with my parents. I'm not about to go hang out with you guys unmasked and like bring that shit home. So they all had an outbreak. They all got sick, but not too sick. I don't know. Well, one of my friends, I mean, she felt kind of pretty bad, probably the worst out of all of them, but no one had to go to the hospital. And this feels, now this guy I went to school with is just not around anymore. Freaking weird. We don't have to talk about this depressing stuff, though. I don't know, wanted to be honest about my headspace. I want to get out of Oklahoma. I'm sick of the way this place works. It just feels like it's getting worse. Something I haven't talked about before, my parents are considering moving to Washington. Washington State. I, of course, would go with them. I'm trying to get out of here so bad. I thought about moving somewhere like Florida after graduation, because like the South is cheap. That's the one thing that's like the cost of living is going to be low. Orlando's actually not that much different from Tulsa when it comes to cost of living. So I was looking at that. But if my parents are leaving this whole area and going to Washington, I'm not being stuck in Florida. Like, I'm not letting them leave my ass here. So they actually went and visited back in October and they really liked it. I haven't been though, but I think I would like it. I'd like a new experience. Even if I did enjoy living in Oklahoma, which I guess there are some things I like about it. I like how cheap it is. I like the 4 seasons, kind of. I don't like that it gets 100 degrees in the summer. That's not my thing. But even if I did like Oklahoma, I'd want to have the experience of living somewhere else because, like, I'm not getting any younger. I'm not trying to spend any more than a quarter of my life here, which is already too much in my book, but I didn't pick this place. I was born here, grew up here. I do think it's good for people to have other experiences. At least I've traveled, but not everyone has that privilege. So I think this is all the talking points I wrote out pretty much. This is so strange that not many people were able to make this one, but yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on that video that keeps climbing. It's so weird because it like plateaued for a while and I was like, okay, this one's like done. Like usually the peak is during the first couple days and then it just kind of plateaus and you get maybe one view a day or something. Like people watch the newer videos more and now suddenly it's just like a straight line going up. What the hell? It's so weird. Okay, I think that's about all. I have to film a video that's going to be going up on Sunday. I'm doing a reaction to Taylor Swift's unreleased songs, the ones that will likely show up on debut Taylor's version, that will be from the vault tracks. So I'm so excited about that. I also like that that one doesn't require a lot of planning. I just wrote out a list of all the songs that you guys submitted through my Instagram. So I'm excited to be doing that. Also, next week on Wednesday, because I'm posting Wednesday and Sunday now until the end of this month. On Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a comparison between Folklore and Evermore and which album is better. I know people will have opinions in the comments, but I think it'll be fun. This will be all in good fun. I'm going to do a track by track little comparison analysis. I might surprise myself because I think Evermore is better, but like we're going to really dig in there and analyze the quality, and I'm excited for that. So, yeah, I got to film. I might start editing. I also want to read. I need to freaking sleep, man. I've been so tired. December's like the busiest month of my life. So, yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for another stream. I usually say video. This feels so weird. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good holiday season. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.